Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. This is the video for lesson day 82, what would have been Monday's lesson, and it's translations day 2. So it's a little bit of what we did on Friday, and it's going to be a little bit of new stuff, and then we'll finish up with some review at the end. So all of my notes and all these blank copies and everything are on my website, so you can print them out and follow along with me. All right, so here we go. So translation day 2. Translate figure kind 2 units to the right and 3 units down. So remember, this is your description of how they want you to move. So you can say K-I-N-D, do exactly what it says. So you're going to go 2 units to the right. Now don't put a dot yet. And then 1, 2, 3 units up. And make sure you have your K with that prime. That prime is very important. Now move on to I, 2 to the right, 3 up. That's I prime. N, 2 to the right, 3 up is N prime, and D, 2 to the right, and 3 units up. Okay, so now once that's done, all capital letters, all primes, you can go ahead and connect those dots. And then this is your original with no primes, and this is your image with the primes. Okay, so this is the new one. And then this is the one that they would like to have the coordinates for. So if I the coordinate of K prime, that is -1, +1. I prime 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 to the right is 4, 0. N prime is 6, -3. And D prime is -2. Nope, that's D, sorry. D prime is 0, -2. And then it wants you to explain how you determine the location of N prime. So make sure you have to have a couple of things in there to make sure you get all the full points. So I slid, there's your descriptive word, point N. So you want to specifically say what point it is. And then you have 2 units to the right and 3 units up to get point N prime. So you want to make sure you're saying exactly how many spaces and in which direction you moved in order to get the full credit. Okay, so let's move on to the new stuff. So the new stuff is basically, instead of them explaining to you in words, what they're going to do is they are going to give you the directions kind of like in symbol form. And it has to do with the X and the Y axis. Okay, so basically the rules are up here. Anytime you move right or left, okay, think of the numbers that are right or left. That has to do with your X axis, okay? Any numbers to the right are positive. Any numbers to the left are negative. So if you want to move something to the right, they give you the general A units. What you're going to do is you're going to see, or what they're going to give you is a plus sign. Okay, that's a plus sign, didn't print out too well. A plus sign on the A. Now, if you want to move to the left, again, think of these as your negative. Anything to the left is going to be minus with the X. Okay, now up and down has to do with Y. Okay, think anytime you move up, you have positive values. Anytime you move down is negative. So here, moving up would be a plus sign attached to the Y value, and moving down would be a minus sign attached to the Y value. So that's basically what it is. So again, X is moving left or right, where Y is moving up and down. Plus with the X is to the right, minus is to the left. Plus with the Y is up, minus with the Y is down. So let's try an example. So we want to graph our original. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 3, -2 is T. And then 6, -4 is A. And then 3, -6 is N. So connect those dots. And that's going to be your OG, your original. Okay, so this is your original. All right, so here again, this is the new stuff right here. So instead of giving them or giving us in words, they're going to give us in symbol. So this T, that stands for translation. They're not going to write the word out. They're just going to write the letter T. That stands for translation. So now here, minus 5, x minus 5. So where were the minuses? The minuses are to the left of 0. So this means 5 to the left. Okay, so you're going to move 5 to the left. This right here is with the y. Well, where are the y positives? Is it below or above 0? Well, it's above, up. So this means 6 up. So you have to take those symbols and turn it into directions. So again, minus for the x is left and right, minus is to the left, that's 5 left, and for the y, positive is up, so 6 up. So now you can take each one of those points and just apply this translation. So we're going to go each one 5 to the left and 6 up. And then please remember that is prime. And I'll do it to A, 5 to the left and 6 up. And that is A prime. And then one more. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 up. And that is N prime. Connect those dots. All right, and that's right, our point. So T prime should be negative 2, 4. A prime should be 2, 2. 1, 2, excuse me. 1, 2. And then N prime is going to be negative 2, 0. Okay, so that's our first translation with this new kind of symbol form. Okay, so besides actually doing a translation, what they could do is kind of have you do like a little bit of math with this symbol form. Okay, so here's one like this. Add the directions onto the coordinates to find the new points. So we have A, which is 5, 3, and your x value is 3, and this is what they want you to do to the x value. They want you to add 2 to it. So your x value is 5. So 5 plus 2, what's 5 plus 2? 7. So now you have this y value. Okay, your y value is 3. And what do they want you to do with that? Well, they want you to take 3 away from it. So 3 minus 3 is 0. So that's how you can apply the rule, again in symbol form, T means translation, to a coordinate. Okay, let's try another one. We have x and we have y. So here's your x value. Here's what they want you to do with it. Okay, and if you're not sure, you can plug this right into the calculator. So it would be negative 6 plus 8. Okay, x is negative 6 plus 8. Well, what do we get? Positive 2. And now I'll do the same thing for y. And apply that rule to it. Take the y, add 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 comma 2 is that new coordinate. All right, so there's one more way they can show you the symbols, and this is even more of a shortcut. So what they could do is they could take away the plus and the minuses and the x and the y and just simply write it as a coordinate. So what this would mean is this is your x and this is your y. And then because it's a positive 2, this means x plus 2. This is a positive 1. It means y plus 1. Okay. So instead of writing it this way, x minus 3, they're just going to write the negative 3. But you know that this is the x coordinate. So you know you take 3 away from x. Here's the y. Okay, y plus 5. They just write plus 5. But this really means y plus 5. So again, instead of writing it this long way, they can write the shortcut way. And that's by not writing the x, not writing the y, just basically writing those integers. Okay, so positive 2, positive 1, they write there. Negative 3, positive 5, they just write it like that. And they expect you to be able to know how to move or what that means from there. All right, so one more. So x minus 4, they simply just write as negative 4. And they expect you to know that this is the x value, so you'd be subtracting 4 from it. And then here, your y is negative 2. Notice they just write the negative 2. Okay, because that really means y minus 2. So I want to practice a couple with that really quick. So you can kind of just think of this as basically like combining like terms almost in a way. You're combining your constants. So you're combining this x with this x. Okay, because then this really means x minus 2. So what you're doing is taking this 2 and subtracting 2 from it. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Now what about the y? The y is 7, and they want you to take away 3 from it. Again, this really means y minus 3. They're just not writing the y. So you're doing 7 minus 3. Well, what's 7 minus 3? And that is 4. Okay, so we got one more of those. Here is your x, and here's how they want you to translate. So this is not the coordinate, this is the translation. So this is x, so you're really doing -1 plus 3, and then this is your y, and you're really doing y, which is 3 minus 5, okay? So -1 plus 3 is 2, and then 3 minus 5 is -2. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Okay, now we want to do one where we're actually graphing, and this will be similar to your homework tonight, what you'll have to do. So you want to graph the original. 1, 3, that's C. 5, 3, that is A. 5, 7 is K. And then 1, 7 is E. Cake, C-A-K-E. Yummy. And that is your original. Okay, that is the original. Again, this is what you want to do in your homework tonight. So now you want to do this translation. Again, translation is T. It wants you to apply this to all the x values, and it wants you to apply this to all the y values. Okay, so you really have two options. You can turn this into words, which is kind of what I would suggest to do, since it's more similar to the last one that we did, which was this one over here. We knew this was left and this was up. I think this might be the easiest thing for you. So 4 really means x plus 4. So the x moves in a positive direction. Well, which way is a positive direction for the x? Well, that's to the right. So this means 4 to the right. And now what does this mean? This is really y minus 6. Well, where are the y's negative? The y's are negative down here, so that means 6 down. The other way you can do it is you can actually figure out the coordinates, the prime coordinates that is, before you even graph. You take this x value here of 1 and do this to it. So 1 and 4 would give you 5. Here you have a 3 minus 6. Well, what's 3 minus 6? -3. So let's see if we would get the same answer if we actually moved what we said we were going to move. So let's see if we take C and we go 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get 5, -3. The same thing we would get here. So really you have to just decide which way is easier for you and go with that way. Either turn these symbols and numbers into words, or basically you can combine. So I would take your 5, your x value, and combine it with this x. That would give you 9. Take this 3, subtract 6 from it, and also get -3. Or take A and go 4 to the right, and then 6 down. And that would be A prime. And that's 9, -3, which is what we have right there. All right, I'm going to move the rest of them using the words. So 4 to the right, 6 down. That's K prime, and that's 9 and 1. And then, let's see, E would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's E prime, and that is 5, 1. Connect those dots. And again, this is called our image. This is called the image. So this is a translation where they don't give you the words. You kind of have to do the words yourself. Okay, So we're going to go on to the back questions. A couple more to go, and this will be finished. Okay, in the company diagram, what type of transformation makes triangle 2 the image of 1? So I notice they're the same shape, they're the same exact size, and most important, they're the same direction. So same direction is always going to be your translation. It's just a slide. Remember, the S stands for slide. Okay, number 7, this is what we were doing today. So it says, what is the image of point -3, -1 under translation that shifts xy to x minus 2 and y plus 4? So they can always make you do some math when you're not really graphing anything. So you take this x value and you plug it in here. So take this x value of -3, and then you want to subtract 2 from it. And then we're going to take this y value, and we're going to apply that rule to it. I'm going to take a -1 and add 4 to it. So -3, again, if you need to use your calculator, -3 minus 2 is going to give us -5, and then -1 plus 4 will give us +3. And that is your coordinate. All right, number 8. So this is the toughest it's really going to get. And that is when they give you the original, they give you the image, and they want you to figure out the symbols. Now, you guys did a great job the other day when you were able to do the counting. Now you have to be able to do it the math way. So A is -3, 1. And it's going to go to 5, 5. So you got to just test them all out as you go. You want to know, how do I get from -3 to +5? Okay, you can test them all out. Actually, you can even use a number line if it helps you out. So from -3, I'm going to use this one down here, from -3 to +5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 spaces, and it's to the right, so that has to be plus, because positive numbers are to the right. Now for the x's, or excuse me, the y's, we're going to go 1 to 5. So for the y's, I start at 1, and I go to 5. 1, 2, 3. What am I doing? Yes. Start at the 1, go to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 spaces up, and up is positive. And we get y plus 4, which is choice A. If not, again, you would do guess and check. So you would start here and you plug -3. -3 plus 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, so the first one worked out. Now try the second one. Plug in a 1 here. 1 plus 4, is that 5? Yes. So you can also do guess and check to get the answer. All right, number 9. This one's going to get our double star. This is the toughest one on the entire page because there's none of multiple choice to help us out. So a translation maps 1, 4 onto 7, -3. So 1, 4 has to go to 7, -3. Then we want to write the image of 5, 10, so a completely different point. We want to know what that translation is going to be. So we need to figure out, what did I do to the x values to get from 1 to 7? What did I do to the y values to get from 4 to -3? So from 1 to 7, again, you can use the graph below. Or you can kind of just subtract them, 7 minus 1. But from 1 to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You went 6 spaces to the right again, and right is always positive. And check it out. 1 plus 6 is 7. That is correct. Okay, so now your y values. You go from 4 to -3. So 4 is right here. -3 is to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To the left, we talked about in our rule. To the left is always negative. So in this case, it's going to be minus. And just check your work. 4 minus 7. Does it give me the needed -3? And it does. Okay, so now what we do is take this new coordinate and apply that same rule to it. So if I get this new coordinate of 5, 10, and I do 5 plus 6, and then I take this and I do 10 minus 7, what do I get? Well, 5 plus 6, I believe, is 11. 10 minus 7 is 3, and that is the final answer. So again, you have to go from this point to this point. What did I do to 1 to make it a 7? I added 6. So do the same thing to this x. 5 plus 6 is 11. What did I do to 4 to make it a negative 3? Well, for 4 to negative 3, you got to go back to the negative. So it's minus. 4 minus 7 is going to give you negative 3. So apply the same rule to 10. 10 minus 7 is positive 3. So your answer is 0, positive 3. All right, and then the last one is a graphing one. So we're going to start with graphing our original ABC. So let me erase these little marks that I made. So negative 1, negative 2 is point A, 0, negative 4 is point B, and 3, negative 1 is point C. So that's going to give us a pretty little triangle, and that is going to be our original. Now we want to graph and label. Remember, these are primes, A prime, B prime, C prime. So it's the image of triangle ABC after translation. So this is the new stuff, okay? This is what's on your homework as well. Anything positive for X is going to be to the right. So this is going to be right 4. Anything negative on the Y is down. So this is going to be down 3. So you're going to take this original ABC and apply this to it. Okay, remember, this could also have been written this way, in that even shortened way. Okay, this is the same thing as this. That's the same thing as that. So take each point. We're going to go right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go down 3. And that is A prime. For B, right 4. And then down 3. And last one, C. Right 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. And down 3. 1, 2, 3. And those are our primes, which makes that our image. So let's just get our coordinates like we always do. So A prime is 3, negative 5. B prime is 4 and negative 7. And then C prime is 7 and negative 4. And this is your image. All right, so that was today's lesson. Again, when you do your homework tonight, you're going to have one question that looks like this, and you go back to these rules. Okay, right and left is X. So either plus is right, left is negative. Up and down is going to be your Y. So anything you see a plus is up, down is a negative. And then you'll have one more that looks like this really shortened version. And again, we just kind of turned these into right and left and up and down to make it easier for us. Okay, so the worksheet is on my website. You can print it out and do it. And I hope that this video actually helps, and have a great night.